come for you.
No words typify the horror that awaits you when you hear the nursery rhyme sung by the young girls playing jump rope. And in today's video, we draw Freddy Krueger in 4 different styles for Halloween. So for this style, I'm going for classic horror. I want this to feel gritty and raw, like it just walked out of the 80s slasher films. I want it to look like the iconic poster. The one thing that I really love about this section is bringing out all the deep, dark shadows around his eyes and really showing off the decayed, scorched look on his face, because that's quintessentially a part of Freddy's backstory, but we'll get into that when we talk about the burn section later. A little bit of a fun fact, even though this movie is 40 years old, the most crazy thing about it, that Freddy is only in the original movie for a total of 7 minutes of the complete runtime. This iconic character was able to pull off such a performance in only 7 minutes, give so many nightmares to so many children in just 7 minutes. That's how powerful of a story that was written for him. Here's a really good tip for beginners when they're trying to achieve any kind of realistic effect, and if you're having trouble blending, this is going to be great for you, so you would want to listen up. And that is work in layers. Try to add your lights and your darks over time. Don't just try to blend them all at once. Try working light and then progressively work in layers. Then, as you're seeing here, add some color pencil. Then maybe add some light grays with some inks. Go back and forth and you'll find an effect and achieve an effect that works best for you. Another tip is you're always going to come up to a part in your drawing where I call the oh no phase, and that's right about here where you're seeing, because right now it looks too red. But that's because I added and punched in all those darks, so now I got to add more skin tones back and bring back my middle tones in with the beige, and now I have to add all the little fine details on top. There's always going to be that moment in your drawing where you're just not going to feel confident in what's going on, but once we add the highlights and some more middle tones back in, that's where we'll be able to carve in the facial features that you see here. Another little fun fact as I'm finishing up is, did you know that Freddy was inspired by real events? Wes Craven, the creator, was inspired by newspaper articles about men who died in their sleep after reporting terrifying nightmares. It gives that character an extra layer of eeriness. This is by far one of my favorite pieces, but let me know what you guys think in the comments.
3, 4, better lock your door.
As we move on for the realistic, we're going to lighten things up with a cartoon Freddy. That's right, we're going to imagine him in a playful way, a little less creepy of a character, but make it fun for everyone. To achieve a cartoon Freddy, we're going to focus on bold lines, simple colors, and expressive features to make him look more mischievous and instead of terrifying. This version is going to be a little less creepy with a little bit more personality, and just in general a little bit more inviting rather than the juxtaposition of the creepiness we have in the top left.
5, 6, grab your crucifix.
Up next is the cracked effect, and so many of you requested to see it, and I actually think it fits really well for the character. Another fun horror fact about the film is that Freddy's glove was incredibly heavy during filming, that actor Robert Englund would often have to slouch or keep the glove at his side because the weight was so much that it could not be held upright all the time, which actually gave birth to the really creepy slouch that he has, or his hand being just off to the side of him. The one thing that I love more than anything else about the character of Freddy Krueger is that he is inescapable. Unlike any other horror villain, you can't escape him. If it's Jason, just stay out of Camp Crystal Lake. If it's Michael Myers, just stay out of Haddonfield on Halloween. But with Freddy, you can't escape him. You have to go to sleep. And when you do, he will be waiting there for you.
7, 8, come stay up late.
Now up for the final style, which is the burn style, and I'll be using actual fire, so do not try this at home. Do not try to actually emulate this in any way. This might seem odd or crazy, but this is nothing more than just charcoal. When the matches burn, they leave behind charcoal, which I can then apply and get varying gray tones throughout the piece. I start by using the tip of the match to get in all of my middle tones, and actually this style I really love for Freddy because I think it just perfectly fits the character. He's a horribly disfigured and burned person for all the atrocities that he's done, and it's perfectly well reflected within the drawing. And for that final touch, I had to burn the paper just ever so slightly, but once again, do not try that at home. But let me know what you all think, and as always,
9, 10, 9,